Welcome everybody to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game, or an anime. Today, we'll be talking about Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 3. My name is Anthony Ragucci, and here to discuss as my guest. Not as always, because Trio ain't here. Trio's been replaced. He's been trampled. Let's say
a victim of the rumbling,
but a survivor sits with me today. Chris Geddes back in the sack.
Give him my heart.
So I have to admit, Heart and Souls of the Cause sounds much cooler than just Sasageo.
You don't like Shinzo
Sasageo. Erwin's speech in season 3. When it in English, when it's like when they're charging towards the Beast Titan, that is better in English. Like the way it's what is it? My soldiers push forward, my soldiers scream out, my soldiers rage.
Yeah.
But in Japanese, it's like it's different. It's like flipped around, and I'm like, hey, I don't think it's as good. It's not hitting as hard.
Starting off with the hot takes. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Good point. I love it. So. Just like I had somebody on different to do the last part, and what's funny is they watched both the dub and sub too.
Oh, did they?
So again, you're more prepared for this than me because I've only seen the dub, and it took 5 months for them to get the dub out. So this is why we're doing it so late.
Whatever reason.
I like we were saying before the podcast, I would just really like why is it taking them so long?
Yeah, unless there's behind the scenes stuff going
on.
Like
4 weeks for the first episode with like the last 2 seasons. I'm like, that's fine. I'm
sure.
like, we're 4 episodes behind, so I'm kind of like getting spoiled like on Twitter. And I'm like, all right, it's
dangerous.
Yeah, like it hasn't been that bad because I kind of just enjoy the conversation. But yeah, here we are 5 months later
Finally,
when the actual thing came out. So
I'm surprised. I know you're sticking to dub, but I'm surprised you didn't cave in.
I mean, of course. Do you think I didn't get spoiled? Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, that was bound to happen.
Yeah,
it's bound to happen.
So, Chris, what do you think, man? How are you feeling about Attack on Titan, especially like not even just maybe this part, but like how you're feeling about this whole final season? How long it's been drug out?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have different opinions than I do, but what do you think?
It's crazy to see how far we've come from like the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
From how long the wait was between
2013 to 2017.
It was what, 4 or 5 years? That's 4 years?
Yeah, my whole college career.
Yeah. Like I remember starting it in college, and I have a bunch of good friends that like we've bonded over the show.
Yeah.
But man, they're dragging it out. Like, what is it? Season? I can't even tell you. Like part 3, chapter 1, like season 1.
So it's funny. Toonami was calling it the final chapters, and I'm like, I like that better than the final season, part 3.
Part 3, yeah. Like,
part 4.
The final chapters is good. I like that. That's
and I'm like, where did they get that? I'm like, they just be like, we're not saying this season, final season, part 3. It sounds stupid. I'm like, yeah, final chapter sounds good. Yeah. I wonder if they'll relabel it too when it's all done.
Probably.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I've read it, so like I know how everything wraps up, and I hope the anime makes me appreciate it more, because after I finished it, I really wasn't like, it just didn't.
I don't know what happens.
Yeah, it just didn't. I was just like, oh, okay, this is. Yeah, the ending, and I know they said they're not going to change it. It's going to be the same, straight from the manga. So we'll see. I wonder if it'll clue in maybe some more anime like original stuff to help like tie in the ending. So we'll see. It's good, but the show's pretty good. I mean, for them to be dragging it on so much, they're doing pretty well with it. Mappa. Yeah. Some people saying like Mappa and Wit. I like Mappa's style a little better.
I think, and like I was kind of like weary about that at first. Like I don't really know a lot about anime and like how it's made, so like I didn't really know what like they're changing studios. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't really know. And it's clear night and day.
Yeah.
But I feel like for this final series, this final season, like this serious tone, that Mappa has, that Wit just didn't, is just kind of helping it.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Like the lines on the eyes. Well, they're like all over the place.
That's a Mappa special there. Because they do that in what else they do? JJK. They did Chainsaw Man. They've done a bunch of the anime. So I mean, you could see a lot of their art styles. Like they're almost identical.
Sure.
So it's yeah, those eyes, those are a map of special.
Yeah, and there's so many. Like, I don't know if they just like doing close up of
with the
eyes.
face. Oh, and
but like in Attack on Titan, like there's so many eye shots and like close ups of
Jujutsu
faces.
Kaisen's the same way with those eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've been enjoying them dragging it out. I'm like really into it, and I feel like any other show or like anime, like I probably would be like really against it, but for some reason I just don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
I'm like we got one more part.
Yeah.
We know that.
Hopefully. No.
Yeah. Right. So like it's gonna finish, I guess, at the next one. I guess that they're gonna do another hour.
I wonder if it'll be an hour, if they'll extend it.
I mean,
I honestly
make it as long as you want.
I honestly thought they were going to do a movie. Thought they would make like the last parts of movies.
I mean, that's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just really fucking long episodes.
I think they could have done a theatrical release for like this last part, and they probably would have made bank.
Yeah.
Because they could have pushed like the you would know the dub would be out because they would do the dub and the sub at the same time.
Yeah, in a fucking perfect world. I still don't really understand. I'm like why it takes them so long. Like, do they have to have the Japanese dubs done or the Japanese voiceover done first for them to do the dub? Like, I don't
know how that
quite
works.
understand. I'm like, because they're reading off a script.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I understand it takes a little bit to translate, but like, if you think about it, I don't really think there's that much talking going on. I don't know. Like, is there a lot of dialogue? Like, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a.
I just have so many questions because I'm tired of being like, oh my god, November 3rd, the final part is like upon us. It's not far, and I'm just.
Is that only? They didn't say anything about the dub.
No, they never do.
No.
So you can expect the sub will be on November 3rd, but then it's like, okay, then what about the dub? And it's so close, and be like, wouldn't like you would think maybe they would just like keep them, going and be like, we have the
At least have it up at the end of the year.
Dude, I don't want to wait 5 months, especially for like the ending.
Yeah, that's rough because like you're gonna get spoiled.
I knew Hanji died like the day that episode.
Oh
aired.
yeah,
and I was like, fine. like I'm like, all right, but I'm like, I didn't really know how like the episode ended, and I was actually glad I didn't get spoiled on like the final line. Of it. But this episode, this part 3 episode, is pretty. If you think about it and you take a step back from like all the climactic nature of this whole thing, it is pretty like not a lot happens.
No.
We're on the boat, we get to land, and we go to Eren. That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They just expanded on it. I do like the beginning of the episode a lot.
Yes.
With Eren basically.
Oh, what's the kid's name?
Ramsey?
Yeah.
Ramsey?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I think it's Ramsey.
And his cousin or brother. It's not really clear like what he is.
And just him coming to terms with like, even if I save you right now, as he's getting like jumped in the alleyway here,
yeah,
he's still gonna die later. And him just bawling his eyes out. Oh man, Eren's such a good character.
He really is. Like I don't think there's been any other turn from a protagonist to an antagonist quite like this. But like when we reviewed the part before this, we were always talking about am I like with Eren or am I against him? Like because it's clearly that he is doing the wrong thing. It's clear as day. But like when you sit and think about it, like you almost like question it.
Yeah.
And like the characters are doing the exact same thing. They're like, when they start the rumbling, like Armin's like, this is fucking overkill. Like, what is he doing? and they're like freaking the fuck out. And yeah, like, and it's interesting that like in this episode, they clearly come to terms with the fact that like they need to stop him. Yeah. And like, I'd like,
and there's really only one way to do it.
Right. Yeah. Right. And Mika's like, or Annie's like, it's got to be you. You better be fucking ready to take him out.
Talking about, let's go back to that with Annie and Armin on the boat.
Yeah.
Armin needs to just come out and say it, man.
Nut up.
Like, yeah, come on, bro. Like, I'm rooting for you, boy. Like,
yeah. I mean, we know she's gonna come back, and like I don't know how she's gonna get from the boat to Aaron's Titan in inland. Yeah, I you know what's funny? I hated Armin in the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
I don't really know why. I think he's just like a weaker character.
He
Like
was a weakling, and he was
like literally,
Yeah.
like not just in his character, in his personality, but like as a person, he's just weak. But he really comes into his own in this final
his
season.
character growth is crazy.
Yeah,
Is unreal.
yeah. It's like, dude, like, and now you're the 18th commander of the Scout Regiment.
15th.
Oh, 15th.
15th.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Sorry, I did know.
It's like, dude, come on.
Come on,
Don't you
dude,
know?
come on.
Don't you know all the Scouts?
Come on, you waited 5 months.
Yeah, and like that moment, it's like, nobody else. Hanji's like, nobody else embodies the what it means to be the the commander of the Scouts more than you do, and it's like, I guess that's kind of true. Like from episode 1, he's the one who shows Aaron the book of the ocean and kind of gets his mind rolling about like
what's beyond the walls
Right.
and everything. Oh man, and him, like, I do like his thing is like when he's in his kid, when he's up in the sky and he's like, oh, I finally found freedom.
Yeah.
But it's not what he had thought it was going to be.
Right.
Not at all.
And that's that's like a through line of this whole thing is like Aaron has like obtained freedom, but at what cost? And the idea that like, and I mean, this goes really deep, and I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, even in like perspective of like, okay, like our life, and it's like, what does freedom like really mean? And I'm like, and I'm putting in like the perspective of the show where Aaron is essentially killing everyone to start anew and create his own freedom. I'm like, like think about it in like different contexts of like real life, political, whatever. I'm like, you would pretty much have to do exactly that. You would have to kill everyone so that there's nothing left. And then
You build it up.
reestablish a new reality and a new freedom. Like that's like the only way. And I was like, that is some deep fucking shit.
Yeah.
I was like, but like, obviously I don't like, no, I think he does understand that, but I don't think he understands what it is to do it. Like okay, like the thought of it, I need to do this, but then doing it like he's doing, going back to Ramsey's, he's like, crying to this kid that he's killing his, his family and like, this kid that he saved. And, he's just like, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or not. And it's just like,
It's like I can't avoid it. It's gonna happen no matter what I do, what I try.
that was a great start. And when they see the rumbling, and then it like zooms in on the Titans and then the logo just comes up. I think it's the first time we've ever started an episode without an opening.
In the opening, yeah.
Because I thought the Under the Tree by Sim was the opening. I didn't know it was the credits.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it is, but I guess they just saved it for the end instead of putting in like a minute or two opening.
Right, yeah. I think that tonally made a lot more sense.
Yeah, for sure. That song is very good.
It didn't hit me at first, like when I first listened to it, because like the rumbling is such a hard follow-up.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
like
awesome.
that perfectly encapsulates like the beginning of like the rumbling and everything, and Under the Tree is perfect.
I guess are they coming back to do something for the last part?
I wonder if they're gonna do something. I haven't heard anything.
I would imagine
I would assume it's
so.
gonna be Sim again.
They've been pretty, like they actually they didn't do the opening for the first part of the final season, but they've just been so popular. I wouldn't understand why they wouldn't do it. But yeah, I'm trying to think. The boat stuff with Annie and Armin. This episode, it's funny. Like, it's a long episode, but like again, not a ton happens.
Not really. I mean, Flock,
dude.
Flock.
How? How? Hold on to what?
Yeah.
What strength? That boat is probably going like. I mean, I don't know how fast
Plot armor.
boats go.
Plot armor.
But like, I would say 80 to 150 miles an hour.
And he was able
and
to
he's
walk,
holding on, and he just like, oh.
With his last breath just unloading.
But dude, I Flock is such a cool character because he is like the embodiment of like a radicalized person by Erwin. Like he is the definition of like he like totally got radicalized by him in like a very opposite way that like everyone else is. And I thought it was interesting. Yeah, he comes up. I think the flying boat has been pretty cool. Like I like let's see, Onyan Capone.
Onya Capone.
Yeah, I'm like, that's how you say it. I really like his kind of role in this, and like the Osmobito clan, and like everyone seems to be there for like a reason. Like, nobody's like just there.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of had like their moment. Like Jean and Connie don't really get a lot to do in this episode, but again, I think once we get to the next part with the big fight that's clearly going to happen, we'll have some cool moments with everyone. Everyone will kind of get more of their due. But Hanji gets hers in more way than one. And I like how she kind of goes out on this very like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, like this is it.
She's fully come to terms. Like,
cool
let me have this.
Yeah, like, and I almost like, because at first I was like, well, what are you gonna do? like
how are you gonna just? What are you gonna do? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and she, takes a few of them out. And I almost thought those Titans were like not killable. Like you couldn't kill them. But I guess clearly you can.
Not.
She like knocks them over and they just step all over each other.
I guess you just take out the Achilles and they'll just trample each other.
Yeah. So what did you think about her death? Because it is pretty brutal.
It might be it. It might be one of my favorite in the series.
Yeah,
just because the callback with the soundtrack. The music is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So
it
awesome.
always is. They haven't released the I mean, I don't know if the OST is that much different from the last part, but like it doesn't have a separate track or album yet on Spotify.
That song is on Spotify. I forget what the name of it is.
Yeah. I mean, they're constantly reusing music, this is the similar songs and stuff like that. But yeah, her it's not like only she catches on fire from the steam, but she blows up.
She combusts, and then it's just slowly falling down.
And then that scene, when she's
when she wakes up,
and she's dead, and
definitely threw me off for a second. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Since I'd seen that, I'm like,
yeah,
I know what's going on. And then she sees the boat, and Erwin comes back, which is cool. But it's like, like Moblet's there,
Sasha's there.
Yeah, like that one blonde dude from the beginning of the show. There's like tons of
dude that
random
smells. Is that the dude that smells everybody? Remember him? He had like the mustache.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know if the guy who saves Aaron is there as well. Forget his name. The guy who rescues him from the house.
Oh shit!
Like when they during the Shigan when the walls fall. Shigan, forget his name. It's so funny. There are some people like I only know who Moblet is because that's a weird name.
Yeah.
and I'm like who what. Moblet? What is that? Like they all have like pretty like Germany names and like
it's weird. Like if you look at like the original like the people who sang the first opening, pretty sure that was German too. It seemed like they were going for like
I think there's just a big German aesthetic with the aesthetic of the anime.
Yeah.
Like Jaeger is soldier in
Obviously.
German. Yeah. Yeah. The first two openings I think are in German. Yeah. And you see Big Girl. That's all.
Yeah. You see Big Girl. That's German as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know why they chose to do that.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's like obviously the manga has nothing to do with that. So I guess they just kind of identified this like a vibe or aesthetic. It's like, why don't we do this?
Yeah, he dealed and he said, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. And the part that really got me the most, and I actually had seen none of it, was Aaron's speech while they're in the paths dimension.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, if you want to stop me, you'll have to he's like, you'll have to kill me.
Like I have to stop breathing.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Aaron.
And I just like how they're freaking the fuck out in there, and they're like running.
Yeah.
Who's that kid?
Who is that? Whose kid is that?
Yeah. Like, who is this kid?
Why does he look like Aaron?
It is Aaron. Like, whoa.
They keep running and running, and they eventually just like they don't reach him. They like get back to Peak and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that concept. Like, what is that concept of like they're just running infinitely until they just appear back where they started.
Right. So, feel free to bring this up again too. Do you notice a huge difference between the dub and the sub? I mean, I guess it's been a while since you've seen the sub, but
well, the sub I don't really like or the dub, for instance, I don't really have to pay attention as much because I can understand it. But I
Right.
mean, no, I thought the dub was actually pretty good. That was the first time I've watched the dub. So like,
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I thought it was good.
It is good.
I'm trying to figure out like who the voice actors are. Like for Aaron, is it Bryce Papenbrook?
Yeah.
Okay, I
and
remember. He was
he's
like
an
Kirito.
interesting sounding dude.
Yeah,
not like Aaron is like a hardened motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he talks normally, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds like I'm like I would not expect him to be making the voice of Aaron, especially now that he's like super hardened and shit. And I like Mika's as voice. I mean, all the voice acting is great. Matt Mercer's Levi.
Levi, of course. Yeah. I picked up on that one.
That's pretty easy to pick up.
For sure. And then who voiced Hanji?
I don't know.
Because I forget I saw something on Twitter about her like thanking everybody for supporting her for being Hanji for, I don't even know, was it 10 years now?
You know what was funny? My friend thought Hanji, like, I guess he thought her name was Hanj in like the sub because they might say it differently. I'm like, no, it's Hanji. Like they say Hanji.
Yeah, they must say it like Hanj without the
Hunch.
E. Hunch.
Yeah, but I've always thought the dub for Attack on Titan is good. Like I hate the. I mean, I'm always gonna watch the dub just because it depends. Like if there is no other availability, like I watched not Paprika. What is that movie called? I'm gonna look it up right now. It's gonna kill me. It's an anime movie. It's from the 90s. It's very popular. It's gonna come up in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Ghibli movie?
No. Oh, come on, load. Letterbox. Come on. No. It's not Valentine. I think it has blue in the name. It's gonna kill me. I have to look it up.
I'm drawing a blank. I have no idea.
I got you. Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue.
It's like you've probably seen pictures of it. It's like pretty popular. She's like this girl's like a Japanese pop star and she becomes like an actress and she has like a stalker. And that's like the premise. It's a manga that was adapted to an anime and it's like an hour and a half film and it's really good. And there is a dub, but I couldn't find it, so I just watched it sub. But it is
from the 90s. That sounds a lot like a recent anime.
Yeah, no, it's very 90s. Yeah, it's good. I would recommend it. But yeah, the quality of dubs, like I just feel like there's so much gatekeeping with that shit with people.
I just think people are
it's fine.
Or sour.
Yeah, people are just like, well, it's originally made in Japanese.
They have to watch it because they put more heart and soul into it.
I'm like, I'm like, why would I like switch over to the sub now? Like, I'm at the end of the show.
You've been there so long with these characters and like their voices.
Like, why
and
would
then
I
it changes,
fucking
you're just
switch?
like, who are these people?
And then I love looking at like clips on like TikTok or like Instagram where people go, yeah, the dub's better. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
They're like, this is why.
Yeah, this is why. So the Paz Dimension stuff, and then they make the plan in the plane. And I guess we're kind of forgetting about they switch over to, is it Annie's dad?
Yeah,
with like the soldiers
with the dude, and he's like holding them hostage with the gun.
Yeah, and they're going on the train. And we did kind of forget the scene of just the utter carnage.
Oh, I was just thinking about
on.
that.
Tone setter.
Gotta
like, show it.
I don't think Wit, like back to Wit and Matt, but I don't think Wit could have done that. Made that as like sinister and dark.
Dude, there's like people, the guy like killing himself, and then like when Aaron throws his arms back, and then there's like a disembodied arm. Like the symbolism and like what they're trying to convey via like this carnage. I'm like, it just works.
Yeah.
Like you totally understand like like I don't know why you wouldn't understand it at this point, but the severity of like what is happening to these people.
It's genocide.
Yeah, and like even still, like like the guys driving the car and they're fucking,
and they're fighting to get into the car,
and they're still locking people out. Like they're still kind of like harboring these hatreds towards the Eldians, and it's funny because it's so like not even about that anymore, but it was about that for like a season, right? When like at the end of season 3 we find out what's really going on between the Marlians and the Eldians, and then like now we're just kind of back to like it's like a simple show again.
Yeah.
It got like so complicated and complex with like politics, and now it's just like, yeah, everyone is dying. It doesn't really, it doesn't
matter anymore. Like all those people that were bad, they're gone.
Yeah. The carnage. I'm just trying to make sure we don't miss anything, because I feel like if we miss something big, that would suck. Yeah, we're hopping back and forth between the train, and then I don't want to get to the airbase just yet.
Yeah.
And then they make the plan in the flying. I'll call it the flying boat, because
the flying boat.
Yeah, the flying boat. I love how it's just like it's a plane.
They've never heard that.
Do we not have the word for it? Oh, and Gabi and Falco, like, you know, the Osmobito clan leader, I forget her name, you know, they bring them back or whatever. And they have this quick moment of like, and Annie is with them as well. And they have that quick moment of like,
I had visions.
Right. Like this, I'm like, wait, are we discovering, like, and so apparently, yeah, the female Titan can absorb other Titans' powers, but they all can do it, but she's the best.
She's the best one to do it.
Yeah. And I'm like,
just
do we like? I'm like, yeah, I guess we've seen that with like the hardening and stuff. Like, like it's not untrue, but it was just like they like really like exposition dumped like real quickly about like
we need a reason for this to work. You're the best at it.
Right.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah. So obviously they'll be joining the fight soon enough.
Yeah.
And then we're going back to like Mikasa and Annie's thing, because you know they both like boys.
Yeah, they're having boy trouble.
Yeah, especially Mikasa.
Yeah, Mikasa's I don't know about this one. She might have to let him go. We'll see.
Yeah.
You might be a little too far gone.
She could have saved him. She could have stopped all of this. I actually fully agree that if she told Eren that she loved him, that he would not have done anything.
Mm-hmm. Right? Are you talking about was that season 2?
No, it's in season 4 when they're on the hill right after he's done crying to the kid and he runs back down to the camp.
Okay.
And she finds him and she says, "Your family." Like she just doesn't. It doesn't come out. I'm like, you could have. Like that was it. Like that was the moment. And he was like, fuck.
I'm thinking back to when they were about to kiss right before when he punches her,
the Titan and uses the scream. I think it's the founder.
Yeah, something like that to make them all attack him. But that would have been she could have done it there too.
Yeah.
Could have all had a happy little life.
Because it's funny, like I mean, like they bring up the fact that like you know, like she's talking to Mikasa and be like, you know, like you can. Like you're gonna have to do this. Like it's pretty clear. like you're gonna like at the end of the day, if anyone's gonna persuade him, it's you, and you both like each other. So like you need to either like nut the fuck up and do this, or like like stand aside and let somebody else do it. But then like she's also like, but I like Armin too.
I really like. And
she's like, what?
Oh no way, really?
And I kind of wish they got like, I don't know, one of them kind of like did something like not like, I don't know, like I'm just like, really, like you're all gonna die, you're like, don't you understand
now you're gonna come to terms with your feelings
and you're just gonna be like, nah. Like you could give him the spark he needs to fuck them up, but Armin being the gentleman he is comes to the occasion with that plan, and it's like, you know, yeah, they're after that Paz Dimension thing, they're totally set.
Yeah,
on taking
what they have to do.
Eren out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what did you think about like the airbase part when they get up there and they see all the troops are like they're leaving and it's like,
no, they're gonna bomb them. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
And then no, man, just he can create Titans on his back. That's I like that. So that like I'm trying to go into. Not go into too much spoiler territory.
I know a little bit about it.
Yeah, so
but
like
yeah, don't.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I guess don't tell me, but is Zeke dead? Like it's like very unclear like what happened to him.
Is he
like he clearly got absorbed into him, and I guess like they like. And they actually address it. They're like, oh no, like Eren like absorbed Zeke, and that's how he's doing all this. But
and like if we get rid of him, that will, in some term, like save Eren or something like that.
Yeah, it's because he has the power of the Founding Titan because
Yeah.
he's a blood relative to Ymir. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But again, I'm like, is he dead? Like, what's going on? Or is he like in paths, just kind of like chilling in that dimension, like, you know, chained up? I love that meme of Patrick. Oh, so good. And then they, they make the dive out of the plane, and that commander makes that sick fucking speech, and then but immediately like all for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I really don't know why they didn't just dip. They should have just dipped.
Last line of defense, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but if you're a country, I feel like you would prioritize your civilians, like all the women and children. I don't know. It's one thing I don't agree with. Instead of like saving your people, let's just bomb. Let's just try to do one last line of defense. But
yeah, and it's interesting that he like kind of realizes is like we did this to ourselves.
Yeah,
and like we persecuted these people, and like this is the consequence we're paying. And I'm like, oh yeah, finally somebody like kind of like says it. Like Jesus Christ,
oh, this is why we fucked up.
Yeah, but like I kind of like not that the plan was sound, but like it. Like I think it could have worked, but like it clearly went to shit so fast, and they like their barrels were off target.
Yeah,
and they like maybe if they like put them all like right on him all at the same time, it would have had like better.
Slowed him down a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
And then Armin and the group dive out of the plane. I guess Oyan Capone is gonna land somewhere. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to him.
They said, "Oh, you figure it out."
Yeah, he's like, all right, yeah, and I love how he says, Hanji says the same exact thing to him that Armin says about. I think he says something about like like you're our only hope, or like you're the only one that can do this. Mm-hmm. And he like because he's the one driving the Zeppelin. In the beginning of season 4, and he says like the exact same thing back, and I was like, ooh. I caught that.
Nice little callback.
Yeah, and then they dive out, and we get like a cool little dodging, attacking the Beast Titan segment. Rhina goes armored, and they land on his spine, and they're ready to fucking fight.
Tatakai. And then fade to black.
Yeah, but I love when going back to when we were talking about the freedom part that Armin goes and he's like, Eren, he said I think you want freedom or something like that, but like, do you even know like what that means? Like, and I was just like, yeah. And then, where are you at? And then it's Kid Eren just walking. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah, man,
fucking love it. I am so excited to see this finally end. But like I've been saying, I've enjoyed how drawn out it's been.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, I don't really see people like complaining about it. But I think it's an easy thing to bring up.
Yeah,
like,
I think.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
Yeah, I think people did jump. It was like the popular thing to jump on at the time for them to just be like, "Oh, they're extending it too long, milking it for every last cent." I don't know. I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah,
they haven't disappointed.
I haven't seen anyone say anything really negative about it.
Most of the episodes are highly rated, so I mean, the community likes it. So
I'm trying to think. Like I remember when part 2 was coming out, one of those episodes was like, I think one of the highest watched anime or highest rated episodes of anime like ever.
Yeah,
I think it was like maybe it was the season finale. Maybe it was the one where they show the Ymir stuff.
Oh,
but it's one of those episodes like in the end of that part. I'm like, wow. And I really do think Attack on Titan is like the greatest anime ever. It's really like cool. And it never really like feigns on this like it takes itself so seriously to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, and I almost like respect that because it's like, like whether it's like fan service or like your filler shit, like anime does have a lot of tropes, and I think all anime seems to fall in it to some degree, but Attack on Titan just didn't at all.
Yeah. I
don't know why.
No fan service. I don't really recall any like fan servicey like gimmick outside of maybe like illustrations from the author himself.
And I think they have some OVAs that are a little more risque and like very jokey.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen, and some are.
Have you seen all the OVAs? Like
I haven't seen any of them.
Really?
I've seen clips of them. I don't think they're dubbed.
Oh.
But I think I would watch them anyway. I need to
definitely, because there's one about Levi
Yeah, and there's one about a girl who like encounters a Titan
that can talk.
Yeah,
bro.
Like I'm like, are they canon though?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Yes.
But then there's the one. I think there's one where like there's a clip of like Mikasa like fucking working out or something.
Oh yeah, and her workout gear. I thought that was from like one of the seasons. I thought that was like.
I mean,
legit.
I could have push your mic a little bit towards me. Yeah, there you go. I could have sworn that was like I was like, did I like miss that?
It's like, where is this from?
I was like, where was I? But yeah, man, it's like it's the Rumble.
It's been a ride. It's been a ride.
It's been a ride, and we're almost done.
From where it's gone to where it's at now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to say. I really fucking enjoyed it though. Like I really like. So it airs on Toonami, but I always watch it like Sunday night-ish, and I fucking love doing that.
How do you watch it on? Do you just like
I
log
DVR
in?
it.
Oh, you DVR. Okay.
Yeah. I fucking like Toonami and Adult Swim. Yeah, you know Toonami is on earlier now.
Really?
It starts at 6.
What?
Yeah.
Do they start showing like anime at 6, or do they start with like Family Guy?
It's like King of the Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was just like, huh.
I've seen them like live on YouTube recently, and I think it's like showing what they aired, like the new episodes of the stuff that they air from that like Saturday, whatever's full.
Yeah. I know they air like a ton of other shows. I'm not exactly sure like what ones and.
Yeah, when I turned it on, I think it was Dr. Stone. Have you ever seen Dr. Stone?
No.
Dr. Stone's a good one.
But I've seen the ads.
yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, that's cool. I like, it's so funny. Like I feel like there's more to say, but there's really not.
Yeah, I mean, for it being an hour, like you said, they're really like not much.
Yeah, again, boat, wharf, in the air, on his back.
On his back, and
that's it. And we have a few interstitials, but like other than that, it's yeah. And I guess that would have been like 3 episodes. It's so hard to think of like how, if this was a regular season of TV, how would it end up being? But like it's kind of hard to even say.
Yeah, I feel like, well, they had chapter 1 and chapter 2.
True, we didn't bring it up. What is it? The Rumbling and Sinners, I think is.
Yes,
yeah.
Sinners is definitely the second chapter.
Yeah, it was like chapter 1, the Rumbling. It's like I love how we're still talking about the Rumbling. Like it's like started, but like it like now it's really
still, like,
started.
here. Like
it's been coming, but it's here now.
It's finally here.
Yeah, I love that, the end of that, the part 2 when he's like, "Is that the Attack Titan?" But it's Shinjeki no Kojin, right? That's Attack Titan in Japanese. Yeah. They only call they call Eren the first time they say the Attack Titan is in like season 2. I don't think I like really caught, like I'm like, oh, it's Attack Titan. Like the show is Attack Titan in Jap. Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, that's it.
Right. I get it. I think I get it now.
I would have figured they would have had like an actual name for, like, let's say the female Titan, because you know how the Attack Titan, maybe the female would have had like a more like lore accurate name instead of just being female Titan.
You know what's funny? I have seen some lore things that like the names of them make no sense. How would they just know?
Yeah.
Oh, so this has been, you just decided to call it the Attack Titan, but it's been called the Attack Titan for thousands of years. It's like, what? Yeah, they just like make up names, and like I'm like, yeah, that is a weird. Sure, yeah. Like it's like we just know.
We're smart. We've been there before.
But Chris, anything else before we succumb to the Rumbling here, or maybe fight Eren and survive? Are we gonna fight him?
I think we'll survive.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Hold on to your hats.
Yeah. I really don't know how it ends. And I'm
That's
like,
good. That's good.
Really, like, I know about the battle. I know some stuff that happens there. But like, as to like how the show ends, like, I just have no fucking idea.
That's good. You have to like try your best to stay clear of Twitter.
Yeah.
When that shit comes out, as hard as
I don't know.
Terminally online.
Did they say how long this? It's gonna be just like one thing, right? Did they say
I wonder if it'll like be split into 2 chapters, like this one that just passed, like chapter 3, chapter 4. it'll be another like
I
hour-long
assume
special.
it would probably be chapter 3 because you know.
I wonder if they'll do like a chapter 3, chapter 4, and then maybe like an epilogue. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe they'll add like
epilogue.
like anime original stuff that they could add in to like tie everything up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. We definitely got to review it when it happens. And it's probably, hopefully, when the dub comes out on time this time and isn't 5 fucking months.
No issues. Hopefully.
But again, were there issues? We don't know.
What I would kill to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, if you've been watching on twitch.tv/Delco Network, we greatly appreciate it. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz. Make sure to leave us a review while you're there and subscribe to us on youtube.com/Delco Network, where you can get the video version. You can find us on facebook.com/Delco Network, at Delco Nerds, on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that jazz. You can find all this information on our website, delconernetwork.com. You can also email us comments, questions, things for the good of the group, delconerds@gmail.com. For Chris, I'm Gooch. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we'll see you next time.